So, everybody, I'm here with Congresswoman Jayapal, who is here on the evening of the State of the Union. I actually just saw you in Iowa.
Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. You were there. What a
I was there.
fabulous swing that was.
So, how was your time in Iowa?
It was amazing. I mean, just to see so many activated people who really have hope for big institutional structural change and feel like, I was out there campaigning for Senator Sanders, so feeling like there was a candidate who was going to speak for them and speak for working people, it was really phenomenal. So we're obviously waiting with bated breath for the results, and it's very disappointing that the Iowa State Party and the Democratic Party was not able to test this app before getting it out. But I think we're going to continue to advocate, first and foremost, to get Donald Trump out of the White House. And obviously, I believe we need a bold, progressive candidate to fix so many of the things that are wrong.
Well, and you've been fighting for bold progressive issues for a long time, long before you were in office. Can you tell us a little bit about the fight you've been having for Medicare for All?
Absolutely. So I started as an immigrant rights activist after 9/11, but what you realize is everything is intertwined. And I started to become aware of our broken healthcare system and how it literally puts profits over patients, and started advocating during the Affordable Care Act for a single payer system. I was not in Congress at the time. When I came into Congress, it was the first bill that I signed on to, H.R. 676 at that time, John Conyers' bill. I took it over last year, and the bill that we've written is 125 pages long. It is a guarantee to every single person that everybody is in and nobody is out, that there will be no copays, premiums, and deductibles, that people will actually be able to seek care when they are sick, that they will be able to see the doctors and the hospitals that they want, that they won't have to worry about sticking with one job because they're afraid of losing their health care, and that everybody will have this guaranteed government insurance plan so that we can start to put patients above profits again.
Well, and I love that you bring that up, because I think that's something that people have a lot of unnecessary anxiety about. Oh, I won't be able to pick my providers, I won't have any autonomy, but that's not the case, is it?
It's not the case at all, and it's interesting because some people say, oh, you're going to lose choice with Medicare for All, but I would just say, what kind of choice is there when you don't get to pick the plan that you're on if you work for an employer? The employer does that. You don't get to pick what benefits you get. The insurance company does that. And you don't get to pick which hospitals or doctors you get to see. There are so many out-of-network doctors and hospitals now. And finally, if you lose your job or you're too sick, you don't have care. That's not choice at all. I brought tonight as my guest a terminal cancer survivor who has talked about, he actually was diagnosed at 25. He was able to go, thanks to the Affordable Care Act, on his parents' plan for a year. And then he was on his own, and having to deal with a terminal illness, having to navigate insurance companies. He's paying about $10,000 a year in out-of-pocket copays, premiums, and deductibles, and he's still not getting the care that he wants. So he's not able to get counseling, he's not able to get physical therapy. He can only work about 5 or 6 hours a day. He's now on SSDI, Social Security Disability. And so he finally is on Medicare, and his costs are coming down, and he's getting access to some of the best doctors because of Medicare. So he's just a perfect example of the millions of people across the country who are suffering, and the 500,000 people, Americans, who are going into bankruptcy every year because they can't afford health care.
I love that you bring that up, because this is a multifaceted problem, isn't it? It's the healthcare aspect, but it's also the financial aspect, the mental health aspect.
Yeah.
What would you tell people about how to get involved in this fight with you?
Yeah, well, Medicare for All, if they go to publiccitizen.org, there's all kinds of resources there. They can go to my website, my congressional website, see if their Congress member is on board, if they're signed on. We have over half of the Democratic caucus on board, but we have more work to do. And it's an idea that's popular not just with Democrats, but also with Republicans and independents, because everybody knows somebody anybody who is suffering from health care. So this is going to take a movement of people across the country, and it's been amazing to be able to work with so many dedicated doctors, nurses, healthcare providers, and patients who are telling their stories and saying we must do this. The United States of America has a responsibility to provide healthcare for every single person because it's a human right.
We can't afford not to. We really can't.
Exactly. It's time to act up.
Absolutely. Well, Congresswoman, thank you for all the hard work you do. You're wonderful. Is there anything else you want to tell people that are watching at home?
Don't lose hope. You know, I'm an organizer and an activist, and I know these are tough times, but the only way that change happens is because young people and folks of color and organizers decide that they're going to take democracy into our own hands. So get out and vote, get out and be organized, and get out and participate in really trying to take back our country.
Love it. Here for it. Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Have a great evening.